If you enjoy the content on this channel, please like and subscribe. Blackadder the Third is the third series of the BBC sitcom Blackadder, written by Richard Curtis and Ben Elton, which aired on BBC One from the 17th of September to the 22nd of October 1987. The series is set during the Georgian Era and sees the principal character, Mr. E. Blackadder, serve as a butler to the Prince Regent and have to contend with or cash in on the fads of the age embraced by his master. The successor to Blackadder II, the series reduced the number of principal characters again compared with the previous seasons, but instead included a number of significant cameo roles by well-known comic actors. The series aired for 6 episodes, broadcast on Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. on BBC One. The titles of the episodes are always a noun paired with another derived from an adjective beginning with the same letters, in the manner of Jane Austen novels, most notably Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice. On the first broadcast, the 5th episode, Amy and Amiability, was billed in the Radio Times under its working title of Cape and Capability. The main cast for Season 3 included Rowan Atkinson as Edmund Blackadder, Tony Robertson as Baldrick, Hugh Laurie as George, Prince Regent, and Helen Atkinson Wood as Mrs. Miggins. Although the series reduced the size of the show's cast, the programme featured guest appearances in each episode, most notably Tim McNinery deciding not to continue playing the character of Lord Percy for fear of being typecast, although he appeared as in a guest role here as Lord Topper in Episode 3, later the Scarlet Pimpernel. Stephen Fry and Miranda Richardson, who had previously had major roles in Blackadder 2, also appeared in guest roles as the Duke of Wellington and a disguised highwayman, respectively. Fry and McNinery would return to regular performance for the 4th series of Blackadder. Other notable guest stars included Dennis Lill as Sir Talbot Buxomley, MP, Robbie Coltrane as Dr. Samuel Johnson, and Hugh Paddock and Kenneth Connor as stage actors Kenrick and Mossap, respectively. The opening theme this time was a minuet played on harpsichord, oboe, and cello over close-ups of Blackadder searching a bookcase. The credits title appear on the book spines, and each has a condition and a script to match each character. For example, Baldrick's is plain and in poor condition. Other amusing interspersed titles include From Black Death to Blackadder, The Blackabite Rebellion of 1745, The Encyclopedia of Blackadder, and The Landscape Gardening of Capability Brownadder. Hidden inside a hollow book, he finds a romance novel, complete with cover art, bearing the title of the particular episode. The closing credits are presented in the style of a theatre programme from the Regency-era play, with an accordion closing theme that samples the melody of the original theme. The programme would go on to win a BAFTA Award for Best Comedy Series in 1988. It was also nominated for 3 more awards: Rowan Atkinson for Best Light Entertainment Performance, Anthony Thorpe for Best Design, Victoria Pocock for Best Makeup. The combined 4 series of Blackadder were voted second in the BBC's Britain's Best Sitcom in 2004. Some fun trivia notes. Blackadder does not sport a beard in this season because Rowan Atkinson's then-girlfriend hated him having a beard. Though the series is notable for its historical inaccuracies, Hugh Laurie's portrayal of Prince George, later George IV, is fairly close to the mark. Prince George was made regent in the absence of his father, George III, and was immediately hated by his people. He reportedly lived only for pleasure and didn't care about the public, who through taxes had to foot the bill. This also explains the otherwise incongruous references in the series to George having a weight problem. In reality, the Prince Regent's indulgent lifestyle resulted in him being obese. Of course, in the show, he's portrayed by a very slender Hugh Laurie. However, he probably wasn't quite as hopelessly stupid as portrayed in the script. This was the only series of Blackadder where Rick Mayall doesn't appear. This was due to a falling out between Mayall and co-writer Ben Elton after they had creative differences on Filthy Rich and Catflap. The series of Blackadder marked a change in the traditional lineup of characters. The 2 previous series, the Blackadder in 1982 and Blackadder II in 1986, included different historical incarnations of Edmund Blackadder, Baldrick and Lord Percy. This time round, though, the character of Lord Percy wasn't in it at all, his role as a foppish fool of the group being replaced by the character of George, Prince of Wales, the Prince Regent. McNinery was actually offered the part of George, but turned it down as he feared he would become typecast. He did, however, appear in Nob and Nobility, playing Lord Topper and Fop. Hugh Laurie eventually got the part of George, having played 2 characters in the previous series, most notably Simon Partridge in the episode Bear and Prince Ludwig in Chains. It was decided not to have Edmund wear makeup and not appear dirty, as the writers believe he would have been smart enough to bathe daily, unlike the people of the Georgian times who did not. Mrs. Miggins's pie shop was frequently mentioned in the previous series, but never seen. In this series, both the shop and Mrs. Miggins herself, played by Helen Atkinson Wood, are regularly featured. Although the Regency occurred in 1811 to 1820, The historical events and persons depicted and referenced appear to date the series before the age anywhere between 1755, the publication of the first English dictionary, and 1805, just before the Battle of Trafalgar. On the other hand, a discussion of Mark Twain's novel The Prince and the Pauper, published in 1881, is a clear anachronism, as in reference to the roller coaster, a term created in 1887. In 2013, media reports of the birth of Prince George, son of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, were frequently accompanied by photographs of Hugh Laurie as Prince George from the series when discussing the child's historical namesakes. Of the 4 seasons of the Blackadder series, running from 1982 to 1989, the third season's finale is the only one which receives a happy ending for the main character, him taking the place of the Regent of the United Kingdom. In all other seasons, he meets a tragic death, despite the comic setting. In the first season, he is poisoned, stabbed in the second, and in the 4th season, he dies on the battlefield of World War I. Now, once again, Blackadder the Third is absolutely phenomenally fantastic. It is completely hilarious, and it astounds me how brilliant the writing is. Richard Curtis and Ben Elton have created something truly magical. But not only is the writing superb, it's the deliverance here from all the cast, but of course most particularly Rowan Atkinson, who really makes the Blackadder character his own. Hugh Laurie is absolutely superb here as Prince George, and he takes on the sort of stupid man role, while Baldrick of course remains ever present as Blackadder's loyal servant. The new setting in the Georgian era is perfect, and adds another comic dimension to this wonderful series. Now of course you can't watch a series like this and expect to learn anything about real history, but at the end of the day, this is about sitting back, relaxing, and having a good old-fashioned laugh, and watching fantastic actors deliver their phenomenal lines, all in the while of the wonderful setting of this age and time. I did miss the likes of Stephen Fry and Tim McInnerny in their more regular roles, and I did miss the role of Lord Percy, but I can understand why McInnerny didn't want to be typecast. Here, though, of course, in one of the episodes, he plays the fantastic swashbuckling Scarlet Pimpernel in an absolutely brilliant turn. As does Stephen Fry, as the Duke of Wellington. It's one of the most hilarious episodes, and Stephen Fry just owns the show. While for me not as strong as maybe Season 2, Blackadder the Third is still a fantastic series that really hasn't dated a day since its initial release. Absurdly funny, wonderful wit, beautiful comedic timing, outstanding costumes and settings and stories make this a show that you can watch time and time again. These are truly some of the best comedy series ever made, and Blackadder the Third gets a 9.5 out of 10.